All right, guys. Well, this is my last night at this location. So I figured I'd make a decent meal here. I'm going to make some steak and cheese, little steak and cheese hoagies. And I'm going to use some of the mushrooms and probably that fresh onion I have there. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use frozen onions or fresh, but so I'm just slicing up the steak nice and thin. I have these nice little thin steaks that I bought. I do that because, something I can use them for steak and eggs. I can use them for different things, fajitas, whatever. So the nice thin ones are nice because they cook quick. But what we got to do is we got to slice them up into nice little strips, nice and thin, so that when we saute them up with the onions and the mushrooms and some of that steak seasoning, we can make a good steak and cheese. Now, I also had a viewer comment about my Knob Creek. This is just a couple bourbons I have here in the rig. The 120 is a little bit hot. I mean, it's good. Definitely burns a bit going down. Not much to say about it. I can't say I don't like it, but it's not my favorite. The Yellow Rose, I just opened that up the other night. As you can see, it's a little bit down. I only had a couple fingers. The Yellow Rose Outlaw, I gotta say I'm really digging that after the first test. I have not opened the Willet yet, but I have already had it. That's just what I have with me now. So yeah, somebody commented and said, they saw the Knob Creek and said, oh, you look like a bourbon guy. Yep, I am. I love bourbon. Not much really to say about it, I guess. Steak, bourbon. It's going to be a good night. Stay tuned. All right, we got the steak all sliced up nice and thin. I cut it all up. I added a good amount of steak seasoning, some black pepper, and a little bit of olive oil in there. And now we're just going to add a little bit of this Yellow Rose bourbon. Just about, maybe 2 ounces. And now we're going to mix that up. We're going to knead it to get all the seasoning mixed up really good. And we're going to let that sit for about 30 minutes to an hour, maybe a little longer, and let it marinate. That's the trick with marinating. You really got to let it marinate for at least a half an hour, 45 minutes. I prefer 24 hours, but something, I don't have that kind of time. So we're going to do about an hour. So we'll see you back in an hour. Don't make me energize phasers. Yeah, I'm still watching Star Trek. We're on Deep Space Nine. I'm not sure which episode it is, but it's season 3. I'm watching all the Star Treks, all generations or all series in chronological order, and I'm on Deep Space Nine now. All right. So back to the update. Steak. A little bit over an hour, actually. It was probably an hour and a half. I went and did a few things and let it marinate a little extra. I did chop up that onion. I wanted to keep the pieces thin, but a little bit large. And then we're going to add in the leftover mushrooms from this morning's breakfast. Again, with my dual pan. You know how much I love this pan. But I figured I'd show you guys. Where is it? It's called Cook's Essentials Full Body Even Heat Design. And there you go. I don't know if it says it twice or what the deal is. But that's the pan, guys. It's kind of weird design. Not a big fan of Teflon. I mean, in situations like this, I like it because it's easy to clean. And if it's in good shape, there's no problem. Once you start seeing flaking or anything like that, I suggest you get rid of your Teflon. But sometimes it just can't be beat. So, we got the steak. We got a little bit of bourbon to taste along the way, because we did make this a bourbon steak. And we're going to just saute it all up in the pan. Make some awesome hoagies. grinders, whatever you want to call them. All right, guys, for the next part. All right, check it out. Onions and mushrooms are in. Put a little tab of butter in each compartment of the pan. Now we'll add the steak. All right, here goes the steak. Oh, listen to that. Now you want to be a little careful here because there is bourbon in the mixture and it is rather flammable. In fact, I probably could light it if I wanted to. Smell that. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? No, I suppose you can't. But with that going on, let's take this insulator off the fantastic fan and get this going. And just put it on low. Now it's got a little more liquid than I wanted. I probably should have drained out the marinade, but I cranked up the heat a little bit. We'll burn off a little bit of that. And like I said, with my pan here, this isn't on the heat, so it's only getting residual heat over on this side. Most of the liquid has cooked off. What we did is we actually put some of the liquid in with the mushrooms to help steam those along. Now we're going to combine the two. You might be asking me why. Well, by doing it separate, I can cook both at different levels by moving the pan like I showed you in a previous video. Back to the mushrooms, saute those for a while, go back and forth until I feel that everything cooked the same. Very good, very tender. Now we can mix it all together. Did I tell you you were going to love this pan? What? Toasting the rolls while keeping the steak mixture warm? Could this be happening, guys? I'd say yes. This is real. This isn't fake YouTube here, guys, okay? This isn't living under bridges or fake generator problems or fake transmission trouble or any of that. Real life for real people is important, and this is real life. This is, oh, look at that, they're getting nice and soft, starting to toast a little bit on the bottom. Oh, telling you, this is so good it's freaky. There's the end product, guys. Look at this. Toasted roll. Oh ho ho. We even have onion rings. Now granted, they're baked Friday's onion rings. More like a Funyun actually than an onion ring. But they're there. We're pairing this up with Yingling Porter. A nice dark beer, full flavored beer. Granted, not as dark as some, but I promise to support this brewery and I will continue to do so. And I also have a little bit of bourbon for afterwards. We're letting that warm up a little. That's the Yellow Rose Outlaw. Alright guys, the only thing I'm missing here, to be totally honest with you, is mayonnaise. I don't have any mayonnaise in the camper. I thought I did, and but I don't. Watch some videos. So I got some videos uploading as well, and that's it, guys. So no matter what you're doing, take some time, cook a meal, and enjoy it. Don't just go for the drive-through options. I'm also going to be watching some more Star Trek. All right, guys, that's it. Bon appetit, and it's time for me to stuff my face. Oh my God, BlackTop. Take a human bite, will you? All right, guys. Hey, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. All right, we'll talk to you soon.